Alright, I think we're live. So today I'm going to play some classical games and just have some fun, see how it goes. If you want to play a classical game, shoot me a challenge. That's cool. Um, Starting off here against Med 9 Tetra. French defense. I actually don't know much about the French, so I don't know why I'm playing this way, but you know, to each his or her own, and so on and so forth. Some chill Sunday vibes going on here with the music. See if I can adjust my camera ever so slightly. Yeah, I don't know if I've played this very well because he can just like play c6 or something and then knight f6 and kind of looks like I'm spending tempo for no good reason. But on the other hand, I do have the bishop pair and a lot of developing moves in my favor. Bishop g5, bishop e7. You know, the rule I think is only play bishop g5 if you actually want to trade it, which I don't. I want to keep my bishop pair. So we'll do that. We'll keep the bishop pair and see what happens. Keep that bishop pair and see what happens. Okay, so I think at some point I'm going to want to go c4 just to deny the knight that square. The question is, when is the proper moment to go c4? I mean, of course, black is going to try to play c5. So I have to think about how I want to react to that. I think I'll... Where do I want this bishop? I think I'll start with c4. Something like c4, queen e2, rook d1. Or should I rush that rook to d1, I wonder? Like bishop d2. Well, queen e2 seems like the most flexible move. So let's start with that. Just not committing to anything and see what happens. Actually, I don't even need this headset. I don't know why I'm wearing it. Okay, so I mean c5 is pretty clearly on his agenda. c4, c5. Probably I just take it. He goes bishop takes and then maybe like a3. Let's just go ahead and play that. Also, I should speed up probably. So I'm in one of the states that basically has issued a shelter-in-place order, which is Illinois. So I think that I'll probably be playing some chess on the weekends these days, you know? We'll see. I'll change up the music. Let's change it up here. Yeah, castles. He doesn't need to play c4 right away. And now the question is, where do my pieces belong here? I mean, now actually bishop g5 makes a little more sense. I still kind of think I might prefer it on b2. The other move I could play here is a3. c5, chop, take some way, b4. b4, and then let's just say bishop retreats, bishop b2. That actually looks kind of good. I'm gonna play a3. Now he could respond to a5, but then c5 becomes a little less fun for him to play c5 there, I think. Okay, so now b4, he'll have to play b6 if he wants this pawn break. And I don't see like a direct way to exploit that, but I also don't really want to lose sight of the f4 square here. So like I'm wondering if I should even just play g3. Maybe b4, a5 then though. That's kind of annoying, isn't it? So what if I play g3, bishop d6? I could even think about c5. Bishop back, bishop f4, queen somewhere, And his knight is going to land on d5, unfortunately. So, I don't see anything wrong with starting with this. The thing is, sooner or later I'm going to not want a queen or a knight to land on f4. So I might as well start with g3 to sort of prevent that. Stop all that stuff from going down. Yeah, okay. So I think it's pretty clear he wants to come through with an e5 break. Now the question is, if bishop f4, bishop d6, I could go knight e5 then. Bishop takes, pawn takes. His knight doesn't have, I guess he could go knight. No, he can't go knight h5. So bishop f4, bishop d6, knight e5, c5. So now maybe it makes sense to start with b4. He's not in time for e5 just yet. Also, I need to speed up. Almost 2 minutes down. Why? Hello from Greece. Hello to Greece. I wish I was in Greece right now. I wish I was on a Greek island somewhere, just hanging out in the sun, near the ocean, far away from central Illinois, where we have snow. We actually have snow. It's about 35 degrees here and snowing like crazy. And we have a shelter-in-place order. So we have snow plus a shelter-in-place order, which, if you take those things and add them up, equals no fun of any kind. So, I don't know where he's going to play here. I'm trying to think for black. I mean, b6, I guess, is a move. Bishop d6 is a move. Bishop f8 is a move, trying to break through with e5. I guess he did get rid of his white square bishop, so it's not like it's imperative to play one of these breaks. In fact, maybe he doesn't even want to because I have the two bishops. But I think it's kind of tricky for him to keep the position closed. Yeah, so this is a move I was thinking about too. And I was planning to go bishop f4, bishop d6, and then I think I can get away with knight e5. Pawn takes, rook takes, bishop takes, knight take f7. I think that's good for me. I think I can get away with this. Let's see. So my plan here is now to go, if he plays bishop d6, I'm going to play knight e5. Yeah. So this pawn I don't think is hanging, because if he tries to take it, I'm going to have the discovered attack knight take f7. And he can't, like, you know, the normal thing that he would want to do here is play c5. Trust me, the weather here is just perfect, but we cannot go outside. Yeah, I saw that Greece entered into a national lockdown today, right? Where in Greece are you from, Exilius Papanayiotou? Your name there is almost as tricky as mine, huh? I'd still take your good weather. We also can't go outside, but it's snowing, so, you know, we wouldn't go outside anyway. Still take your good weather over that. Queen b6 is an interesting move here. Queen b6 I play c5, of course. So I think he's in sort of a tough situation because he cannot actually take this knight. He cannot actually take this knight. I mean, he could take this knight, but then he would have some problems, I think, with where to go next. Okay, now c5. Let's calculate c5. c5. Bishop takes, queen e7, bishop d6, queen d7, and then something like rook Yeah, this should be good for me. I think this is good for me. We'll see. I could also take the pawn, but I mean knight on d5, and I think this is maybe the structure to aim for here. You're from Volos. Okay, very nice. I would love to be in Greece right now, to be totally honest. Sounds awesome to me. Yeah, okay, so now I can play bishop d6, but I can also reserve that move. I could play b5 immediately, and I can play rook a7 immediately. Kind of like rook a7, because now he cannot put a knight on d7, and if he plays knight d5, I'm going to play like this, yeah. And I got to speed up again. I'm going to speed up again. Of course, as I say that, I pause to send a text. Oh, good, he didn't move, so I didn't lose any time. Oh. Yeah, so I'm going to play some classical games today. I realize that maybe they're not as exciting as Bullet or Blitz, but on the other hand, I think that this is, no, he has knight guarding that, so this is not a mistake. I was going to say, is this an error? Maybe I messed up? I can play queen c2. No, I don't have any target there, do I? Maybe I should include... Maybe I messed up, but I always have queen b2. I always have queen b2 or queen f1. Let's go queen b2. Just want to see where he plays. And again, I gotta play faster. Okay, as I was saying, I know this is not as exciting as Bullet or Blitz, but on the other hand, we can kind of look at the games a little more in depth, which is nice. And yeah, so I'm going to play some classical chess today. Just putting pressure here. I don't even know if he can deal with that pressure, to be honest. How do you save this pawn now? Med 9 tetra. I feel like I wasn't intending to trade these white square bishops. I kind of overlooked knight c3, forcing the bishop trade, but on the other hand, I think this pawn is just, yeah, indefensible, so he agrees with that. And here's why I was saving bishop d6, actually. Just reserve that move for the proper moment. Okay, and now queen takes pawn, and how does he defend this? How does he defend this? I guess he goes queen f6, huh? Queen f6, rook a8. Rook a8 looks kind of... Rook a8, how does he defend that? He has no check. Wow, I mean, this escalated really quickly. Went from like a pretty equal position to I think I might just be completely winning now. I don't even see a defense here. Rook d8 maybe is the defense, yeah. Okay, let's calculate. Bishop e7, threatening mate, queen takes, queen takes. Bishop e7, if he goes rook takes rook, I win. Bishop e7, if he goes knight takes, I win. Where does he play? I could maybe... Could I achieve this? No, I can't. Bishop e7 is winning, right? Bishop e7, queen takes bishop. Queen takes queen. Rook takes rook. But then I just play like queen b7 and I'm winning. I think this is winning. It's winning on the spot. That escalated really quickly. My online chess consumption is increasing directly proportional to my alcohol. Yes, Lambonius Jason, I completely agree with that statement. Unfortunately, I'm like completely out of beer, and I don't want to go to the grocery store. Even though we can in Illinois, we're allowed to go to the grocery store still. I don't want to go because I don't want to risk that Corona. So I'm basically stuck at home with no beer. Okay, push. Let's just push it. I'm basically stuck at home with no beer, which really is terrible. Yeah, I think black is in big trouble here. He's probably gonna run out of moves at some point. I don't know, maybe I pushed this too hastily. Okay. Now let's just play like that. It's very hard to play a move here for black. Very hard to play a move. My neighbor made a liquor run for the entire neighborhood. That man is a hero. Yeah, every shipment we get to the house, I wipe down with Clorox wipes. Which is a weird thing to do, you know, like we get Oberweis delivery, and we get Oberweis delivered to the house, and out come the Clorox wipes. Yeah, now my job is a lot easier that he hung this pawn. Now my job is a lot easier. Because this pawn is going to come up the board. I was still winning regardless, but now this should be just completely over, I think. I don't see. I mean, I could even take his knight next move. That would be a really stylish way to finish it. That would be a really stylish way to finish it. But this, I mean, this is also good enough. Good game, Med9 Tetra. So I'll just review that game really quick because it was kind of interesting. So let's try to learn something. I don't think I played Book. I think like already, maybe even as early as, let's see where I got out of Book. Wow, I played Book for a while. Okay, b3 here. You know, I did kind of feel like the bishop belonged over here. My move, Queen e2, has only been played once, and it was a draw. Let's see if I transpo. Okay, yeah, now we're out of Book already. Okay. Good to know. I stuck with it for a while and played a rare move, Queen e2. I think the way I played this was correct. So c4, the idea is that he actually has two knights, which are both going to want to come to d5. And I'm just taking away that square. And now this move was designed, black wants to get in a pawn break. So this move is designed to stop those pawn breaks. Why does he want to get in a pawn break? Well, he's got to develop that knight, and he's got to challenge my center. So he wants to get in a pawn break. So this move says, alright, if you play your pawn break here, I'm going to go like that. And not only am I sort of chasing your bishop all over the place, but I also get some really nice development on the king. So it's kind of prophylaxis against that pawn break. And of course he can't play e5 yet because I'm going to take it. So I kind of just squeezed him. I kind of just took away all of his territory. g3 is an interesting move. It had two purposes here. Number one, if I go straight away and develop my bishop over here, this is not a really annoying move, but he could play it. And he could just sort of transition his queen to somewhere near my king, which I didn't really want, you know. So I'm just taking that away. That's purpose one. I might play bishop f4. That's purpose two. So either I get to develop my bishop here and I don't have to worry about queen f4, or I develop my bishop here like I did in the game and I grab some tempo. So I just kind of squeezed him here. I actually think I played this game really well. Let's just see what the engine thinks. I'm going to turn it on. We'll even go back a move. Well, it doesn't like my c4 too much. So c4. I'm accepting 10-0 challenges today, not 3-0. We'll play some 10-0 games. Or longer. I want to play classical chess today. So castle. Okay, rook e1. Yeah, I mean, developing, I did consider rook e1. It's interesting. a3 is popping up as the number one move, and I played it. Like I said, I think I played this game really well. Knight b7. So here again, it's liking bishop d2 and rook e1. So g3, still advantage. b4, number one engine move, very good. a5, bishop f4, number one engine move. I played this game really well. Knight e5, number one engine move. I thought I played this middle game sequence correctly, so it's always nice to have validation with that. Alright, let's play another game. Nikos Dallas. Ooh, a fellow Greek. Nikos Dallas. Good luck, sir. Let's play a game. Always like to play a fellow Greek. And I'll take opening requests too. For now, I'm going to stick with e4. But if you have any opening requests, let me know and I will try to play them. Good luck, Nikos Dallas. Does that mean Nikos like from Dallas, or I'm a little curious what that means there. Okay. Just castle for now. Stay flexible. Yeah, I'm all out of beer. That's like probably the worst part of this quarantine here. Although, to be fair, I've been all out of beer for like 3 or 4 months. I just didn't really feel like I cared until now, basically, now that I can't get any. So we're playing some kind of closed Italian. Pretty standard play for both sides. Bishop is fine here, actually. You can also put it on c5 for black. The plans are pretty standard. I mean, so here I have to watch out for knight a5. He's trying to trade off my white square bishop. So there's a couple of things I can do. I can go bishop back and back, or I can just play a4, which stops b5 and gets ready to answer knight a5 by playing bishop a2. I think this is a little better move than if I had gone bishop b3, knight a5, bishop c2. That's just a little passive and slow. It's a Spanish Rolo-Pezzi idea. So he's also trying to treat this like a Spanish. And normally what I would do here is I would open the center with d4 because his knight just retreated. So let's see, should I do that here? I mean, the other thing is I also don't have to be in a hurry. I can finish my knight maneuver and then play d4. So I think I'm going to do that. I'll finish my knight maneuver, and then I'll start looking at b4 for real. This move knight b8 may look strange, but I think he's also trying to treat it like a Spanish, or Ruy Lopez, where you get the knight out of the way, you play c5, and now you can reposition the knight right back to c6, controlling d4, or you can come over to this side of the board. Okay, I have to calculate here. So knight here, knight take. Pawn take, bishop take, and I think I've just hung my knight for nothing, right? That's what it looks like. So I don't think I can actually play that. I can play d4 though. d4, take, 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 everybody takes. Let's go d4. I like to open the center when their knight leaves the square c6. That's usually a good time to open the center. What is this? What's going on here? There we go. Always checking the Twitch chat. See what's going on. Okay, right. So he just brings it back out. I mean, that certainly makes sense. The thing is, though, now this knight is not really on the best circuit of squares. Like, where's it going? Is it going back to b8, and then d7, and then what? So, like, for example, if I just play d5 here, it's not completely clear where that knight is going. So I think d5 is probably the thematic move in this position. I didn't have to play d5. I could have just kept the tension. Bishop e3 maybe was a good alternative. Yeah, this looks bad though. I think this knight is now in serious risk of getting stranded over there. Like if I just retreat my bishop somewhere. The question is where. Maybe even all the way back? And this doesn't look right. This looks maybe like a bad option for him. I don't know. I mean, maybe not. Maybe it's okay. So what are you guys doing to survive the quarantine? For me, it's just like a lot of chess and taking care of a newborn and drinking orange juice, keeping your vitamin C levels up, and working on your immune system. All the fun stuff. Binge watching, what have I binge watched? What have I watched lately? I don't know. Okay, so I think b4 now. The knight has to go to b7. And the other thing is, like, why do I have to rush with that? I probably don't. Like, actually, maybe the correct move is b3. I'm basically now I'm just playing against this knight. I'm just playing against this bad knight. b4, take, knight b7. The point there is he can maybe play a5 to free it. And then it's not so easy, huh? So I actually think I should play b3. Let me think about this. I could also just play bishop e3 to continue developing. Bishop e3. What's his move? I think I'll play bishop e3. It just feels like the right move. Develop and aim over that direction somehow. I think that makes the most sense. I was also thinking about b4, but I didn't like just take, knight b7, with the plan of playing a5 to undermine my pawn here. And then whatever I do about that, his knight has a square back out on this square. I also thought about b3. The point of b3 is, if he ever pushes, I could just take it if I wanted to, although that might not even be the best option. b3 push, then b4. If his knight comes into b3, I can try to work on undermining it. But I think in all of those scenarios, I'll be better off if I had just developed a piece here. Am I just hanging something? Did I just hang e4? Maybe I just hung e4. That'd be really terrible. Spend all that time thinking about it and just hang a pawn. I don't think I did. Knight take, bishop take, and then I should have like some discovery somewhere. Maybe even b4. Yeah, and this I'm not too worried about. This I'm not too worried about. I mean, if nothing else, now I've got the bishop pair. I probably like really screwed up here, but I think out of all the potential ways to screw up, this was the least bothersome, I think. So queen c2, b4, take. Yeah, I think I'm okay now. Obviously, I did not mean to hang a pawn. That was just a horrible blunder, but such is life when you're streaming. It's hard to like play a good move when you're also trying to talk about stuff. Okay, so f5 is a move, and knight f6 are his two choices. I think on f5 I'm going to play, I don't know, I haven't decided what to play against f5. Maybe this is bishop d3. Knight f6 I'm going to play b4. And there's a big difference now. So earlier with b4 I was worried about take, knight b7 and then a5, but now take, knight b7, I have queen c6. Which is a pretty big difference. But I did hang a pawn, make no mistake. I just hung a pawn for no reason. After this game, how do you feel about playing a 15-15? I'm playing 10-0 today. I just don't have time for a 15-15 game is the problem. I'm not anti-15-15, I just don't have time for it. Okay, I did think about him playing f5, but I thought it was a mistake. Now let's see. Bishop d3. And if he makes some knight discovery, maybe I just take on f5. So I think this was not his best move. Now the question is, should I play b4 first or not? b4, take. Rook c8 maybe. Maybe rook c8. Yeah, let's just go bishop d3. Yeah, I was not afraid of this. Just grab my pawn back. So, I mean, I definitely blundered the e4 pawn, but out of all the ways I could have blundered a pawn, that was probably not the most painful. And I have to be a little careful here still. But only a little. I don't think I'm too worried about, I don't know, maybe I should be, but I don't think I'm too worried about a4. The point is I can take this first. Right, so he's basically got to do that. And now I can ignore it until I need to take. So I should be looking at some beneficial move on this side of the board. Like, I wonder if this is anything. Take, d6, bishop somewhere. And I don't have any shenanigans, do I? No shenanigans. Okay, so let's revisit some lines here. How do I get what I want? I don't really want to take this is the thing. Taking here allows his rook to potentially come in. So if I can avoid taking that, I think I should. I'm going to play this move. It's a very questionable move, but the idea is to put some piece on g5 at some point. Probably my bishop, I think, if I'm given the opportunity to. Probably my bishop. Queen c8 is confusing. What is he looking at with queen c8? Maybe he wants to just go queen f5 and trade queens. I think I should be okay with that. Can also go knight g5. Bishop g5, bishop takes, knight takes, queen f5. Okay. I'm gonna go for this. I just want to land my knight on e4. I think that looks like a pretty nice square. One of many pretty nice squares for the knight. Why not bishop takes h4? I had the pawn guarded too many times, that's why. I had two protectors. So if he took it, he would just lose his bishop. Any other questions? Can I play? Yeah, I'll take 10-minute challenges. Defending c4s. Oh, he wants to take a4. I'm never worried about that. I'm never worried about him taking this pawn, I don't think, because basically, like, these three pawns would then all be isolated. So I'm not too worried about quote-unquote losing this pawn. I think it would probably be a mistake for him to try to win that pawn. So now I'm worried about him taking that pawn, because now it would not be doubled or what have you. So now I am actually worried about losing that pawn. Again, I could take. Nikos, I actually agree with you. I think this is a draw, but shouldn't we play it out for fun? Knight e6, knight takes, pawn takes. He defends that pawn. Looks bad. Yeah, I'll accept this draw, and I'll explain why. I think it is just a drawn position, so let's see why. In the final position, here's why I took the draw. The best move I could find was knight e4, turn the engine off, which is what the engine is suggesting. And then after takes, recaptures, either way, probably, but rook is probably better. I mean, this is just dead equal. Let's look at one other position here. So like here, somebody in the chat had said, okay, defending the pawn to take. I'm never really too worried about this, because now all three of these are isolated, and I should be able to pick one of them off pretty easily. I'd probably start with knight e6, because it covers the f4 square, gains some tempo, sort of forces this rook to make a decision. Let's put it here. I'll show you why. My next move is queen g4, and my next move is rook e4. And he can actually save this pawn, but he's going to sort of tie himself in knots trying to save that pawn. So, like, you know, just look how bad that knight is. My next move is rook a1, and I'm probably going to collect one or both of these pawns back eventually. Not to mention, in the meantime, I've got all sorts of stuff going on the king side. So, I don't think it's ever in his best interest to take this pawn. I think he correctly played the move queen f5 here. Pawn takes pawn would be bad. Queen f5 feels like the right move. So, and then it's just equal. I think it's just a equal position. All right, let's see. Who wants to play here? I've got a 2000. Okay, let's play Zwe. Maybe it's German, Zwemaster? Where's this guy from? South Africa. So it's Dutch, a Dutch word, Zwe? Okay, cool. Zwemaster. Zwemaster, if you're listening, what does Zwe mean? Z-W-E-E. Is it the number 2 in Dutch? Yeah, let's play Sicilian, why not? Yeah, Nikos Dallas did play really well. Good game, Nikos. Oh, I should play chess, sorry. Zwemaster. Maybe somebody in the chat can tell me what Zwe means, I don't know. PD, I need some lessons and you can't leave your house. Okay, Evan. Alright. E6, why not? Yeah, so I mean here there's a lot of options. I could play d5, I could play knight c6. I'm going to just stick to this for now, and hopefully Larry's still watching. we should do that. Just need someone to set it up. Okay. Yeah, okay, so now he's just developing pieces, that's fine. I'll do the same. Zwei master. I gotta look up what is Zwei. Zwei meaning. Oh, it's maybe a name? Oh, this is really not helpful at all. Luxembourg, okay. From Old High German Zwei. Cognate? Cardinal? Yeah, none of this is very helpful, is it? Okay, let's play chess and stop messing around with the word Zwei. Okay, so here, like, I have almost all options available. But probably the most logical is to just develop. I mean, I don't know, like some bishop moves look nice, but I don't see anything wrong with just bringing my knight out here. Yeah, so he escaped the potential discovery, which makes sense. I would think about bishop b4 here, because like there's a pawn that I can try to take. Bishop b4, let's say he defends the pawn somehow, like f3, and I just castle. I'll play that. Another nice thing about putting the bishop here at the moment is he doesn't have a3. You know, that's a drawback of playing an early a4. Is he doesn't have a3 to kick my bishop around, so that's great. Yeah, I know Zwei is 2 in German, but this guy's playing with a South African flag. So I wonder if it means something different in Dutch. Or what's the, is there like some official language they speak in South Africa? South Africa. Official language. Afrikaans, that's what I was trying to think of. So maybe it means something different in that. That I'm unaware of. Yeah, that's what I was trying to come up with, was Afrikaans. So with my king out of the center now, I'm looking for a really quick center strike if I get the chance to. Like, I might just play d5 next move. Yeah, so he's got to deal with that. So the point was, if he castled there, I was kind of playing castles quickly, hoping for castles, then I was going to go knight takes, queen takes, and oops. But no such luck. I'll take the pawn. I could have taken either way. Maybe c pawn takes and pawn d5 was good. Okay. So now... I'm wondering if I should just take this guy and ruin his pawn structure and play like e5 to fight back on the dark squares. Bishop a3, rook d8. Could play rook d8 immediately. Could also play bishop c5 check, king h1. I'm not sure what I'm accomplishing there though. Rook d8, queen e2, same comment, not sure what I'm accomplishing. So, let's just go e5 immediately. Gain some space in the center, and see what happens. So one of my ideas here is to go and play this check, and then play this move, And I think this is really, to be fair, I think this is incredibly artificial on my part. I don't think this is the right plan. But I'll show you what the plan is. It's just sort of like a regrouping here. So I'm stopping queen h4 and hinting at the fact that I want to bring my queen over here. Yeah, so now I think I'm going to play this move. Just, oh, did I just hang another pawn? I just hung another pawn, didn't I? I'm really good at hanging pawns today. I gotta stop doing that. I was trying to gain some space, but I like completely forgot that he can just take it. Yeah, why did I do that? Okay, now do I have a tactic? Can I take bishop b4, queen a7, bishop c5? I don't think I have a tactic either. That's really highly depressing. I'm really good at hanging pawns today. Take, queen takes, bishop b4. Queen b6 even, bishop c5. Yeah, there's no trick. That was just a clean hang of a pawn. But okay, maybe there's like some silver lining here. That was a horrible move. I gotta pay better attention when I play. But on the other hand, I mean, I did get my bishop out, so we'll call it a creative sacrifice. We'll call it a creative pawn sacrifice. The idea of a5 was just to stop white from doing it. I didn't want to lose too much space on the queen side. Of course, obviously it doesn't work when he can just take it. So that was, I think the word I'm looking for there was pretty dumb on my part. Okay, so f4 sort of feels wrong, right? Because he's pinned here. So what if I just take it? What if I just take it? I mean, I appreciate the generosity of returning the pawn that I gave away so foolishly. It's very nice, very polite. Yeah, okay, so now, if I take rook take, and then something like queen g5, my position looks alright. I can also take e4 immediately if I want to be fully greedy. And I think that's the way to go. Let's see, I take e4, he moves his knight somewhere. A lot of stuff is hanging for him. I just feel like a lot of his pieces are hanging, which is not where you want to be in a game of chess. Alright, let's go to translate.google.com and let's put in Zwei to Afrikaans and try to figure it out. Afrikaans, Zwei. Well, Zwei translated into Japanese is ni. Ah, it's two. It is two. Okay, so Zwei in Afrikaans is two, just like the German Zwei. 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 So two master is master of the number two. That would probably be really amusing to a toddler to say that you're the master of number two. Yeah, so he's got some real problems now. He's got some real issues. The knight is hanging. The knight is defending the bishop, which is also attacked twice. Yeah, so I think this is a problem though, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to trade queens. And if he takes with the rook, I take his bishop. And if he takes with that rook, I take here. And now I'm just winning. Now I'm just winning. And the question is, should I take this or not? I kind of think yes, because we have such an open position that the two bishops should be very strong here. Okay, and now I want to play something like this. Knight e4, I go mate. Maybe I should have gone to e8, because I'm not really threatening anything. But my idea was to play something like this. Okay, I gotta be careful here. Here, knight e4, take knight g5. I think I have, well, even rook d7 there should be okay. So I think I can play this move. I think I can play that move. Sooner or later I have to do something about f7, but I'm banking on the later rather than sooner part of it. Yeah, so I kind of thought he would play this, but now I have some move like here. And I'm sort of forcing his pieces to move backwards because I was making a discovery. Okay, so rook d2 is what I wanted to play. But maybe now is the time to just, you know, while his pieces are far enough back, maybe now is the time to just resolve the pressure here. So I'm just going to get out of the pressure here is what I'm going to do. I could play rook d2, and then if he moves his knight, I take b2. So let's go ahead and be greedy and do that. I mean, taking b2 is a very big deal in this position because it would make his bishop very uncomfortable. So I think correctly he does not want that to happen. Just play here. Yeah. Yeah, he can do that. Maybe I should have played bishop f6 instead. Play it now. Bishop f6. Rook somewhere, king g7, and then if he takes, I can play. I should have played bishop f6. I even saw that at the time. I don't know why I got lazy and played bishop g7. That was a bad move. That was a bad move. Plain and simple. That was a bad move. So king g7, take, rook e8. Looks good enough. Kind of playing with fire here, to be honest, but yeah, the point is rook e8 now I think is just sort of devastating. Probably shouldn't have let me get my rook out. g5, g4, yeah, I mean I can always play that. My real goal here is just to get my rook in the game. So what I thought I was going to have to do is I was planning to go king g7 and pawn f5, and then my rook is free. But the way he played this, as soon as he took pressure off of f7, now it's just over. The thing is, though, if he doesn't take that pawn, I'm going to go rook e2 and rook e7. Probably I'll save the pawn first, maybe even, I don't know, maybe even rook d6, bishop d8, rook f6. There's lots of ways to untangle here. But letting him take the pawn was the easiest way to untangle. There were lots of ways to do it, but this was definitely the easiest and best. Now I think there's no stopping rook e1, or no good way. Are you going to attend any tourneys this summer? Probably not, because there's a couple of reasons for that. Number one, in case you didn't notice, there was a worldwide pandemic going on right now, so it's unclear if that will actually be gone by summertime. So that's reason number one. Reason number two is even if somehow miraculously the United States gets coronavirus under control, which I'm not holding my breath for that, but even if they do, I also have a 2-month-old at home. which makes it hard to travel and, you know, commit the time to go play in a tournament. So probably for the time being, my chess is limited to streaming and blitz chess and that sort of stuff. I will go if we have it, which at the moment we are having it. I will go to the U.S. Open. I'm hoping by August everything will be under control and we'll be able to have the U.S. Open. And if we do indeed, then I will be there. So I'm actually looking forward to that. It's in St. Louis this year, which is the sort of the chess capital of the United States. It's got the World Chess Hall of Fame. It's got a lot of cool stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'm really hoping that the pandemic will be under control at that point, and we can go, hey, Dr. Taboo, if you're watching, check out the setup that we have going on here. This is sort of what we talked about this week. So let's see it in action. I could go f5 immediately here. I'm debating if I want to play like some setup move first, like bishop e6. I think I do. I think I want to play some setup move first. Just develop a little bit, queen d7, trade the bishops if he lets me, and then I'll play. Start moving my pawns and such. Aren't the light squares of both of you weak? Yeah, I mean, I've basically given up this square for all eternity, right? But sort of the point of that is I'm getting some stuff in return. I'm getting some stuff in return. I'm getting some attacking chances in return, is the point. So like I'm going to take. He has the d5 square for all eternity. There's no doubt about that. But what I'm hoping for here is I'm hoping that his king turns out to be a little weaker than he would like. Is the hope. So I'm just going to kind of reshift and refocus my pieces over here towards his king, is what I'm thinking. So I think his idea is to take, and then there's like some kind of pin. But I don't think that bothers me too much, because take I can take with queen. And he goes knight d5, and I just play like queen f7. So I'll even bring my rook over. Just, why not? Will your child be learning chess? Yeah, I do plan to teach him when he gets old enough. We'll see if he likes it. I hope he'll like it. I think it's pretty fun. So yeah, I think that's sort of the plan, and as long as he's enjoying it, I don't see any reason why not to. Okay, so now I'm looking at, there's got to be some kind of breakthrough here. The question is, where is it? So knight take, e4. Pawn take, pawn take, pawn take. Rook take. Actually, in that position, I could even go queen g4. So knight take, e4. Take, take. I think I'll play that. I think oh, knight take, pawn take, though, and then he can force a queen trade, huh? That's annoying. Knight take, pawn take, queen trade is force. Knight b8, queen take, knight take. I don't like that as much. f4, ef take, knight take. I don't think that sacrifice is quite on the menu yet. I'm just going to play like a quiet move for now, and I'll keep building this attack, hopefully, over the next few moves. And we'll see how it goes. I probably had like more forcing variations there, but this one seems fine. Yeah, it seems fine too. Yeah, you can always play something like this, but I don't necessarily think it's any good. Um, it's sort of inviting me to play at some point f4. Can't play queen e6, which is frustrating me. Queen e6 would be like a natural move here. Can I play f4 right now? I might be able to play f4. But I don't know if I should. That's another question. That's another. What I really need to do is make some move that disentangles my queen from this whatever's going on here. Like maybe queen b7. Queen b7 looks pretty reasonable. Let's do that. Just kind of putting it on the same diagonal as his king, making sure not to hang anything. Yeah, that's annoying, isn't it? And here too. Rook d8 is good enough, maybe? Maybe then knight c8, just denying all trades altogether. Let's play that. It's a little weird looking, but basically I'm going to try to push these knights back now. And refuse to make any trades. That's the goal. Oh, okay. Where's this knight going? If I just play rook c7, he just goes back. Rook e7. No, let's play rook e7. Hopefully I'm not missing anything. I've been missing stuff. I own 2 pawns and it's not playing very well. But okay, he goes back, I play rook f7, and it feels like my pieces are getting where they want to go anyway. Yeah. Feels like my pieces are getting where they want to go anyway. And now I can start pushing him around too. Now this is interesting. I could take either way here, can't I? I think I want to take with rook. Or do I take with pawn and go... Do I take with pawn and go f4? I think I want to take with rook. Now maybe knight e7 is back. Or even knight d4 might be stronger. And then knight e7 at some point. e4 might be something to think about. What's this? Is this a miscalculation? Oh, very clever. He has queen takes c6 at the end. Queen takes knight e7 check is what he's looking at here. I don't know if I have any way out of that. I could play knight takes, and then queen f7. That's a nice tactical shot. Let's see if I have any recourse here. Okay, so let's go knight takes. Yeah. Knight e7 at the end is very frustrating, isn't it? And I can't even play something like queen b8 or anything like that because this guy's hanging. So I kind of have to just allow this all to happen here. Okay, nice tactic. Alright, e4 is not yet working. It's not yet working. Where's this knight going? It wants to take here, I guess, huh? So what if I just, like, retreat this? Cover my pawn. And... can I get this knight? I kind of think The answer to that question is no. But that's not going to stop me from trying. Yeah, so he immediately just covers up the knight. But now maybe I have e4. So let's see, e4. He takes with something. I take, rook take. Yeah, I think I have e4 now. I think he wasn't paying attention to my real threat. I think he wasn't paying attention to my real threat. So I kind of made a pseudo threat there of grabbing this knight. And the knight is, after like rook c8, it's trapped. But the bigger threat was to play e4 and start taking stuff. Now what's the right way to start taking stuff? Rook takes, rook takes, rook takes, pawn takes, rook take a3. I could take here and take here. Rook takes, rook takes, rook takes, pawn takes. Maybe rook d3 there, huh? Rook d3. Pawn takes check, king g1. Feels like I gave up my initiative for not very much. So I think this is the right way to go. I don't know, maybe I should play pawn takes because I hold on to the a7 square. But here, after rook takes f3, I kind of have a threat, and these pawns are going to be weak. How much for a brain transfer to transfer your NM chess skills to my brain? Good question, Sorenstorm. I don't think that technology is available yet, but I do offer chess lessons, so you can check that out. I think it's this link here. It's going to start taking stuff now. How do I view my coaching page? Preview coach page. Yeah, there you go. Check it out. leechess.org/coach/Cathietes. Okay, so he just wants his pawn back here. That's very sensible. I can take here. And then play like g5 maybe? Do I have anything else I can do? I'll just take here. And I gotta speed up. I'm down to a minute. So let's speed up. Oh, this was a bad move. Whoops, he can go rook takes knight. I meant to go knight takes a3 first, but I was in speed up mode already. That was just a terrible blunder. Oddly enough, I might still get out of this okay. I definitely should have played knight takes a3 first. But if I get to take this pawn with my rook, I cover up a7. So like I'm probably still okay in a really weird way. Yeah, so now king g6, rook takes, knight takes, c4, king up c3, king down c2. He gets there just in time. I'm going to play c4, knight takes, c3. Let's just start pushing this guy. I think the sooner I can make him pay attention to that, the better. I'm not sure he can actually take a7 now. I do have that title, Past Pawn Patrol. I am USCF Master as well as Life Master. And actually, USCF Master is only 2200, and I am 2300, as you so correctly pointed out. King king g6 was maybe a mistake, huh? I gotta come here so I don't lose my pawn. But then he has even, yeah, he has even that. Just gonna sell out for my pawn here. Okay. Yeah, so I really misplayed this. I blame the clock for my bad play. Actually, he had knight g6 there too. Yeah, I blame the clock here. Actually, that was bad. I should have gone king here. What am I doing? Alright, now it's a draw. Now I win. But probably I draw because... Yeah, because of time. Of course, that's just a win at the end. But I have to settle for a draw because of time. So back here I should be winning, but I blundered badly. Let's go to the key moment. Good game, Mishig. Key moment was right here. I think rook takes f3 is best. Let's see, maybe e takes f3? Oh yeah, I guess rook takes f3 was just nonsense, huh? I still thought I should be okay here. Rook takes, rook takes. Now the point was, if he takes here, I think I'm just winning exactly. Really nice move, not taking any pawn, but rook d3. And everything is hanging still. So that should just be winning for me, and I saw that correctly. But he plays bishop f4, and I do still have an advantage here. So what did I play? Rook takes d3. Yeah, that's correct. Wait, hold on. Rook takes, rook takes. He goes rook e1, right, okay. Rook takes d3, correct. Bishop f4. Knight f5. I thought about that to cover this pawn. No, yeah, knight takes c4. Okay, computer's catching up. Rook takes e4. Yeah, now here I just blundered. I played g5, but I sort of like mouse slipped there. I meant to play knight takes a3, and this move is bothersome because bishop e5 is a big threat, but I can get out of it. So I kind of misplayed that sequence. That's where the game changed. All right, I'm gonna have to pause there. I hope you guys all enjoyed the stream. Feel free to give me a follow on Twitch so you get notified of all future streams and that sort of stuff. And stay safe out there during this epic pandemic and whatnot. Cheers, everybody. Have a great Sunday.